Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The numbers from today, very impressive. High temperature, 94. Morning low only down to 77, but that's not a record. The record was 96 degrees set back in 1864, so that one's going to stand a while longer, but it was incredibly hot. Temperatures tonight still sitting in the mid-80s in Lansing, 80 in Jackson, Howell at 81 degrees. As far as the heat advisories go, it's going to be in effect through Eaton and Ingham counties over to Shiawassee County southward, and some extreme heat warnings which will be in effect for southern sections of Michigan as well. So we zoom out, we're watching a few showers and storms to our west. Those should dissipate before they get here, but they'll leave a system in the region tomorrow which could spell some showers as well as some thunderstorms. It's still going to be very hot over the next several days, but there is a cooling trend. When you look at the heat index forecast, notice we go from heat index values well over 90 again tomorrow, dropping into the 80s, so there is relief on the way. And how about some 70s for highs? 6 News at 11 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 11.
President Trump announces a ceasefire between Israel and Iran and predicts the conflict will soon end. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. This new development comes after Iran launched an attack on a U.S. military base in Qatar in response to the U.S. strikes on key Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend. Erica Brown is here for you with the latest from Capitol Hill that includes members of Congress getting briefed on U.S. involvement and about the ceasefire.
Just 48 hours after the U.S. dispatched B-2 bombers to destroy 3 nuclear sites in Iran, comes word from President Trump of a ceasefire agreement, which he says will bring an end to the conflict between Israel and Iran. In a social media post, the president outlined the plan, saying it has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. The president's announcement comes hours after Iran launched a retaliatory missile attack on a U.S. military base in Qatar on Monday in response to the U.S. strikes on Iran over the weekend. The president also said Iran gave advanced notice of the strikes and there were no reported casualties. In a series of posts on Truth Social, President Trump said most of the Iranian missiles had been downed, and he suggested the conflict may be over. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers remain divided over the weekend strikes on Iran and the U.S.'s role in the conflict. On social media, Republican Thomas Massie of Kentucky wrote, under the War Powers Act, the president is required to withdraw from hostilities in Iran within 60 days, unless he gets a vote of Congress. Others are standing by the president's decision.
Given the situation that we're looking at right now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the president and the administration.
The Trump administration insists that airstrikes on Iran were carried out to make certain Iran does not obtain nuclear weapons. They say it was not about forcing a regime change in Iran. Members of Congress are expected to be briefed about the conflict Tuesday. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Also in Washington, D.C., a divided U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Trump administration can begin deportation of migrants to countries other than their homeland, lifting for now a court order requiring they get a chance to challenge the deportations. The High Court majority did not detail its reasoning in the brief order, as is typical on its emergency docket. All 3 liberal justices joined a scathing dissent from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who wrote that the court's action exposes thousands to the risk of torture or death within a foreign country and gives the Trump administration a win despite earlier violating the lower court's order. The court action came after immigration officials put 8 people on a plane to South Sudan who were not from that country. This heat wave has everyone trying to cool off, especially those who have no choice but to work out in the heat. The EPA says cities can be 7 degrees hotter than their surrounding areas due to high concentrations of concrete, which absorbs heat. Because of this, it's especially important for people to be aware of heat-related illnesses like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. A construction worker on Michigan Avenue told 6 News everyone keeps an eye out for one another and take multiple breaks in an air conditioning area during the day.
Water, Gatorade, sometimes some fruit, whatever, that's helpful. You know, just taking air breaks, you know, with the air conditioning. 10, 15-minute break maybe every hour, depending on how you feel, you know what I'm saying? Typically if you feel, you know, you need to take a break, take a break. I mean, you know, we're out here to work, we're not out here, you know, to get injured.
The state office in charge of worker safety says it's important for employers to provide cool water and recommends drinking 8 ounces of water every 20 minutes, even if you don't feel thirsty. It's also important to keep an eye out for symptoms like paleness, dizziness, and hot and dry skin, as they could be indicators of heat exhaustion or heat stroke. In response to the heat, the city of Lansing activated its extreme heat weather plan, giving people places to go to cool off. These include the Letts, Foster, Geyer, New Hope, and Alfreda Schmidt Southside Community Centers, all of which are open today and tomorrow. Advent House Ministries also is acting as a cooling center for the next 2 days. And for more information on cooling centers and their days and hours of operation, and a look at the forecast any time of the day, just head to our website, WLNS.com. The extreme heat isn't just hard on people, it's also hard on your pets. In fact, these sort of conditions cause significant stress for all animals. Animal care experts say make sure your pets have plenty of water and shade to keep them cool. Limit exercise to early morning and evening when it's cooler and shorten the duration. They say you should also monitor your pets for signs of stress, and that could happen at different temperatures than it does for humans.
And that temperature is going to be highly variable, just like it is for people. We all have different levels of tolerance, and that tolerance can be related to the breed of animal as well as any underlying conditions that the animal might have. So if it's hot for you, as a general rule, it's going to be hot for your animal as well.
And to see the full interview on pet safety, just head to our website, WLNS.com. And the heat isn't just impacting mid-Michigan. More than 30 records for high temperatures were set this weekend across the eastern U.S., and the heat dome sitting over the regions isn't going anywhere for the next few days. Elijah Westwood is here for you now with how the rest of the country is holding up.
More than 170 million Americans are fighting through this year's first summer swelter.
My dog doesn't even want to be outside. My dog loves being outside, but it's that walking through a swamp kind of feeling.
Beaches across the eastern part of the country are crowded with people trying to keep cool. As temperatures soar up to 20 degrees above normal for some areas this week. On New York's Long Island, the Olsons brought granddaughter Rylan to the splash park.
It's a great day to be out. It's going to get hot, and we're by the water early, and we're going home soon.
Heat can make chronic health conditions worse. Right here in New York City, officials are urging residents to find a cooling center if they don't have access to air conditioning.
Heat is not only uncomfortable, but is the #1 cause of weather-related deaths in our city.
There's no escape for these roofers in North Carolina. Shingles growing hotter by the hour. Preserve Roofing owner Matt Robertson says he makes sure his crew stays safe.
Just staying hydrated, making sure that they don't try to overextend themselves, and take a break when you need to. And nobody's in a rush to get hurt.
The seasonal extremes go both ways. Parts of California's Sierra Nevada region got a light blanket of snow, and the Red Lodge Mountain in Montana paused its summer activities after 4 inches dropped over the weekend. Elijah Westbrook, CBS News, New York.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Our hot weather is going to continue. Really the hot stuff tomorrow, one more day, and then things will start to slightly cool off later this week. One of my favorite ways to beat the heat was our Picks on 6 pick of the day, which was from Leo out in South Haven. Folks out just enjoying a beautiful sunset, some nice warm weather, because when you're by the lake, of course, it's not quite as hot, so water is the place to be, or in the air conditioning. High temperature trend, here we go. Mid-90s out there today, so we head into tomorrow, lower 90s. Then we're in the 80s, lower 80s on Wednesday. It's still going to be humid through the end of the week, but at least we're not talking 90s. Next week, by Tuesday and Wednesday, we may only top out in the upper 70s, a little below average for a couple days. 70s. Our satellite and radar tonight, we've got some showers and thunderstorms off to our west, and it's this area which we're watching for severe storms. We've got a level 2 risk, northern lower Michigan, and then over into Wisconsin and further southwest. No real threat of severe stuff here for tonight. Tomorrow's threat's not all that high. It's a level 1 risk and probably just some gusty winds with any stronger storms. Don't think we're going to see a lot of coverage, so not everyone's going to see rain tomorrow, but if you get under 1, it'll rain pretty heavy with all the moisture in the air and produce some gusty winds as well. Wednesday, same threat from 96 south, a level 1 risk. That'll probably consist of the same sort of setup. So the overall threat remains the same and will likely linger into Thursday and possibly Friday as well. Precision cast through tomorrow morning. Little outflow boundary from those storms to our west is going to be just to our southeast, somewhere in lower Michigan or northern Ohio, Indiana. It's going to be the focus for shower and thunderstorm development tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. That'll begin to die down. More showers and storms, probably more widespread to our west Wednesday morning, and then we'll have a chance for some of those showers and storms to roll into mid-Michigan at any point during the day on Wednesday. Temperatures currently are sitting in the mid-80s outside, and heat index values still feels like 90 in St. John's, 88 for Lansing, and 83 in Jackson. On the Skyview Network, McLaren Cam, our numbers from today: 94 the high, 78 the low. Incredibly warm out there this morning. Tonight in Grand Ledge, basically the same thing. 81 the current temp, 97 and 77 the high and low. Heat index value today in Grand Ledge was between 105 and 110 this afternoon. Jackson Cam tonight, mostly clear skies. Temperatures holding at 80 degrees. High today 92, morning low 75. And our numbers in Hillsdale from today: high of 94, morning low of 73, and we're currently sitting at 78 degrees. Here's tonight's forecast: mostly clear, down to 72 degrees. I suppose that's a little bit better. For tomorrow, not as hot, 91. The heat index value will be between 95 and 100 tomorrow afternoon, with a few storms tomorrow afternoon or evening. The 6-day forecast: chance of storms will be in the forecast through Friday. Then over the weekend, still hot, but upper 80s. Heat index values in the low to the mid 90s. As we head into next week, that's when we see some real relief with highs in the 70s after a few storms on Monday. Most of next week looks delightful, the kind of summer weather we're more used to, and we I don't know, at least the two of us prefer it.
Yeah, I like 79. Tomorrow's going to be one of those days again, with thunderstorms potentially later in the evening.
I mean, that's only a saving grace. You get under a storm, it'll cool you off. But then once it rains, of course, it makes it extra humid.
I know. Thank you.